Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building.
That's right. Breeze Nation, what's good, man? Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love to another edition of the Morning Breeze. A lot to get into on today's episode. The Super Bowl has come to an end. The season has finished. And ladies and gentlemen, I think we got our answer on what the Bears need and that game that we watched last night. We got to talk about what the Super Bowl proved about the team and how far away this Bears team actually is. Also got to talk about, of course, the news this weekend that Press Taylor was promoted. What do we want to see now at that pass game coordinator? How do we think that's going to affect the team moving forward with Press Taylor as the OC? And listen, if you're wondering, Pat, you normally don't do a show after the Super Bowl. What are you doing here? We got to talk about how phenomenal no Super Bowl party is. All that and more on today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always, man. Sue Young, what should they do?
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. So normally, right, and this is why I sent the text out to Jordan JC this morning. I didn't know if he was going to respond because I believe he went to a Super Bowl party last night. So I didn't know if he was going to be on the show with your boy today, but it's okay because normally I don't do this show. Because normally we're out at a party till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and we're hanging out. Last night, because my daughter was sick, it wasn't because I wasn't going to go out. It wasn't because I didn't want to go out last night. We did a little stay in the crib Super Bowl party, right? Kids were over there on the couch. I got a 3 TV setup. I'm sitting here kicking it. And halfway through the night, I realized, yo, I'm having a great time. I can actually hear the game. I actually know what's going on. There's not a million people that want to talk to me about being on ESPN right now. Not to say that I have an issue with that, but there's not a million people that want to talk to me while I'm trying to watch this game. And I get it, right? Last night was not the most exciting game of the season if you weren't a ball fan, but if you were a ball knower, if you like a good Devin Witherspoon game, right? If you love a Christian Gonzalez, last night was a fun game. And I think it told you a lot about what the future of this team, the Chicago Bears, needs to be. I think it told you a lot about the future direction that this team needs to be going in. Because I left last night's game feeling like, wow. So we're truly a defensive line away from being in this game. Baki, what'd you just say? Baki tweeted this out. First off, appreciate you for being a Breeze member for 36 months. He said, Pat, I was at a Super Bowl party and bro, my bets hit. I won $16,800. What'd you just say? I haven't slept. Baki. Oh, you called off Baki. No, Baki called off today. Oh, Baki said, we don't go to work when the lay hit. Okay, Baki. Okay, Baki. I just realized my wife walked into my camera last night. My entire angle is off. But no, Jesus, shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. Well done. Well done. I hope this wasn't you putting the mortgage on the line for this, but well done. See, I won 16,000. It threw me off. I love that for the family. But no, I looked at last night's game and I saw, listen, the Seattle Seahawks were all over the New England Patriots the entire night. You know what I mean? Drake May couldn't breathe. Drake May literally had no answers at any point for what the defensive line of Seattle brought. And as I watched it, I was like, do we have a quarterback that can go out there and be great in big moments? Yes, we do. And we've seen that time and time again. Do we have a offensive mind that can set your players up to be great in big moments? Yes, we do. I feel like you've got the quarterback combination with the head coach. You're in a great spot moving forward, a better spot than most of the teams that are in your division right now, because at the same time, Caleb Williams still on that rookie contract. Do we have an offensive line that could have stood up to that defensive line of Seattle yesterday? Yes, we do. And yes, there are some spots where there is age there. The oldest spot on that offensive line just won Protector of the Year. And so you start going, okay, how do we get to this game? How do we get to the point where you look around the field and you say, yep, they're mano a mano here. They can go to war and the Bears can come out on top. And the biggest difference that I saw in that game last night was the pressure that was generated allowed the great players that you had behind that defensive line to do what they do best. And it truly made my perspective of this offseason. Go out there and you find a D-line. Go out there and you find an edge. Go out there and you draft whatever you need to do. You have to find that next Khalil Mack. You have to find that next Max Crosby. You have to find that next Trey Hendrickson. You have to figure out who that guy is and identify him in the draft, because if you've got the quarterback that can do enough in a game like that, most of the game, right? Everybody was sitting there. I saw it online. Oh, it's not boring. It's a boring game. It's not an entertaining game. It's not a fun game. This isn't an entertaining Super Bowl. I watched a game last night that was a defensive slugfest. And I was okay with that. I watched a game last night that if you don't have a defense, you don't get to show up to the dance. And then you start to go through, right, the history of the Super Bowls over the last few years. Philly's defense last season, the Chiefs' defense that year before. Offense is fun. Offense puts you in some great positions. Offense gives you every opportunity to go out there and find a way to win the game. Defense wins you championships. And there's no question about it. And so for me now, I turn my attention to the offseason for the Chicago Bears. And I'm looking to go find who that guy is in the draft at 25. And I would say more than likely, like, to me, I look at the interior over the exterior, because if you can create that pressure in the middle, I think that you can supplement some of that pressure to the outside. Because if a quarterback's starting to get pressure in the face, right? Where's he going? Left and or right. If he can't step up in the pocket, he can't get comfortable. You hope that that is Shamar Turner, but you need somebody on that defensive line coming out of this draft that can give you more pressure-wise than a Javon Dexter, that can give you more pressure-wise than an Andrew Billings, that can give you more pressure-wise than what you saw this season, because the pressure from the interior was almost non-existent every single week. And look what this defense was able to do. It's why I look at when people go, you'll never be able to replicate what you did last season. You won't have the come from behind games. You won't be able to go out there and lead the league in interceptions while not having the defensive pressure. I don't think that you're wrong in saying that. I think the team needs to get better to the point where on offense, you go out there and you see a team that maybe every now and then has to have a comeback game. And it's nice to have a guy that's really good at those, that you can tuck that in the back of your pocket. On the defensive side of the football, I don't think you'll be able to replicate the interceptions you had if there's no pressure up front. But the goal is this offseason, and it should be this offseason. If Ryan Poles was watching that Super Bowl, the goal should be to go out there and absolutely find guys that can be game wreckers in the middle of this defensive line. If your Super Bowl window is truly open, if you believe that your Super Bowl window right now is truly open with Caleb Williams, you've done so much offensively, and y'all know I am concerned about the left tackle position. I am one that thinks that you need to up the protection there, because you don't know if Ozzie Trapillo is going to come back the same, because you don't know if Ozzie Trapillo is going to have that same impact on the field that he had last season. Because you don't know what kind of player Ozzie's going to be moving forward. You don't know how this injury is going to affect him. But the best thing to help Caleb Williams is to maintain what you saw this season in a defense that can get him the football back, but also a defense that can rattle opposing offenses. A defensive line that can create that level of pressure for years, right? That's why it's best to do it through the draft. I would love to get a Max Crosby in here. I would love for that to be the answer. But realistically speaking, what's best for the long term of the team? You have to look at where this team has been and say, if you can find young defensive linemen to supplement some of the old positions that you do have there, because your defensive line, really the youngest person on that D line is what, Javon? I guess Shamar as well. Austin Booker. You don't have great young names there. You don't have names that are going to be wrecking havoc on the and realistically speaking, right where Javon's at, you might not have names that you're re-signing right now. But I mean, my God. What Seattle was able to do, and listen, I think Drake May did not look prepared for the big moment. I thought it was a terrible game plan by Josh McDaniels overall. I thought that, you know, when you looked at what the offense was doing, Seattle's defense had all the answers. Mike McDonald absolutely was going out there and dialing up dominant plays on that defense. But you left that game going, DeMarcus Lawrence making an impact. Who was the big boy up the middle? I'm trying to was it Singleton? Who was the big boy that was up the middle? No, not Singleton. I'm trying to remember what buddy name was. Because it wasn't DeMarcus Lawrence on that one. Was it Jaron Reed on that one? Where he basically just, I think it was Jaron Reed, where he basically just sacked the center and also he sacked Will Campbell and also sacked Drake May. Like, bro, like that kind of pressure is different. And so, like, if you're able to create that, then you truly are in your Super Bowl window. Oh, did you text me? Oh, he must have texted me. That's what I see a Jordan JC in the comments. Hold on. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Give me a second here as Apparently the JC woke up. Someone has awoken the beast. I don't even blame JC for this one. Hold on. I don't even blame JC for this one because normally we don't do this show because usually we're out at a Super Bowl party all night. But hold on, let me make sure I don't have the intro on as well. I feel like that always plays. All right, let's go. Joe JC in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Breeze Nation, what's good? Good morning. How are you, my friend?
Bro, I'm so sorry. Look, it was so boring of a Super Bowl to me. I went to work out afterwards. I had a long.
Oh, you thought it was a boring Super Bowl?
Well, the halftime show was great, but I already knew the outcome.
I enjoyed it, but I was watching the game. I wasn't at a party. Did you go to a party?
Technically, yeah. We went to my guy's house and had a nice little invite.
So you got a bunch of people talking to you during the game. You weren't locked in on the game. I'm locked in on the game.
Not really.
I'm snap in, snap out. I'm tapped. I'm not going nowhere. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I sat in this chair all night. Not this chair, that chair there.
Kudos to you.
It might be the most fun I've had watching a Super Bowl in a long time, bro.
Really?
It was phenomenal.
Wow. Okay. I did not expect that perspective.
It was. I love the game. I thought it was a defensive game. It was a beautiful game. Love the game. Phenomenal game. These guys, they know how to play a game, right? You know what I didn't love? All the Puerto Ricans.
Dude, he did tweet that out.
Wasn't a fan of all the Puerto Ricans.
Worst halftime show ever.
The Mexicans were there. Worst halftime show I've ever seen. By the way, have you seen clips from the I don't even know what to call the other halftime show that was out there. Oof.
I heard about Kid Rock. That's all I heard.
Rough.
Really?
I saw some clips from that mug. Rough.
Come on.
But no, listen, like I left that game. And it's what I've been talking about here with and I've been big on you got to find somebody if you can to replace Ozzie. You have to fix this defensive line. Mm-hmm. If your Super Bowl window is truly open, what we saw from Seattle last night was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. And listen, I get it. Will Campbell Young, there's a lot there that has to be learned from there. The offensive line was falling apart. I don't think the Bears would have been in, if the Bears make the Super Bowl there, it's probably a very different game because you can't create that level of pressure that Seattle created. Yeah. Drake May probably has a better game. He probably is going toe-to-toe with you where you're in an offensive shootout. And listen, I said it earlier in the show, offense is fun. Defense wins championships.
It never fails. That's been a cliche statement forever. Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think that, and I'm not going to say that I didn't watch the entire game. I didn't watch snap for snap, but there were times where I did sit down and my girlfriend was with me, so I was trying to explain the game. I was trying to break down certain things. It was that type of game. So I was locked in for most of it. I did see the defense dominate. Like Drake May got put in a blender all night to the tune of 6 sacks, I believe. And that's exactly what you want to see from a potential Bears defense, because the last two Super Bowl champions, their defensive line, that's where the dominance was. You had Philadelphia dominate. You obviously just had
the Chiefs before that with Chris Jones.
Chris Jones, yeah, like that's the key. And so now you see the blueprint. Now follow the blueprint, and that's what we said we were going to address this offseason. Is obviously the trenches, the interior, the edge rusher, and so. And for me, it's a matter of loading up on that. So again, if you go the route of obviously getting a free agent, even if it's not a superstar free agent, get some more bodies in here that are going to be serviceable, and then do your due diligence in the draft, pick properly, and maybe you can fix the issue that we have as far as pressure on the quarterback. And so, yeah, this is exactly what you wanted to see, and for me, that's the reason why I knew I called it boring, because I knew Seattle was going to win.
Yeah,
like we called this a long time ago. Seattle's defense is very, very dominant, and so I thought that was going to be the case. This was not a game from the start, and so great game, beautiful game, but yeah, this is definitely what you want to see from the Bears going forward when it comes to addressing the defense.
And listen, it's not just the last couple of years. I mean, Seattle wins this year, defense. Philly wins last year, defense. 2 years ago, Kansas City wins, defense. Year before that, Kansas City wins, defense.
Yeah.
Now, you did have to put up points in that one. That was a very offensive game, but that defense was a spark of that team, right, going into that game to help you get to that dance. And I think that's the part for me with where the Bears are that does excite me. You got the head coach that knows we got to be able to put up points and help our defense out. You've got the defense, or you've got the quarterback that when big moments happen, right?
Yeah.
He's for the most part this season shown you, hey, I'm able to step up in those big moments and go out there and give you that little bit of an extra boost. So if you need a 38 to 35 game, hey, we can have that kind of game and be okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you've seen over the course of history, you don't get to that dance. You're not in that game. You're not competing for that game if you don't have the defense. The Los Angeles Rams, year before that, defense, Aaron Donald, big sack, points to the ring me, right? Tampa Bay, year before that, like how far you want to go back? The only year where you really can look at it and just say, Kansas City, that first year, right? The 2020 season when they won that Super Bowl. That offense was ridiculous. They were putting up 50 points every other day.
That was Tyreek.
It was like, oh, well, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
But the NFL adjusts. The NFL gets back to the mean. You might have that pop-up year where you're offensively dominant and you can do it. But if you don't have a defense, you don't show back up.
Yeah.
And so to me, like the offseason path is clear. Of course, you got to focus in on the defensive line to me. Overall, because I think you have a lot of the other things. Think you have a lot of the other answers. I think if Jalen Johnson could get himself back into shape, which we know he'll do this offseason, and actually have a healthy start to the season, can Jalen Johnson be a player that's on the level of what we saw from Devin Witherspoon last night? That's on the level of what we saw from Christian Gonzalez. I know they lost, but Christian Gonzalez had a couple of game-saving breakups.
The beginning of the game. Yeah. I remember that. Yep.
You allow those guys to be special at what they do when you've got that defensive line that can create pressure, when you can rush four, when you can put pressure on the quarterback without having to send the house. How much better is Tremaine Edmonds in this defense where he started off really good until we had to start sending the house every other play? How much better is DeMarco Jackson? How much better is TJ Edwards, right? Like there's so many people that you look around this defense and you go, that's a different kind of football player now if you're able to create pressure rushing four.
And that's the key is you also saw how everybody else was affected by the pressure from the front four. Everybody else just went nuts. In my opinion, you had Julian Love, who had an interception. You had Nwosu, who kind of like put the game away with that tipped, I believe, pass that went right into his hands and returned it for a touchdown. That's the key as well, because as you've always talked about, and we've always talked about, when you address the trenches and they get that pressure, everybody else is just playing more free or more eat. They eat more. You know, Ernest Jones had about 11 tackles yesterday as a linebacker. And then you mentioned Devin Witherspoon, who had an all-world day. And so it makes everybody else's job so much easier. And then they're faster. They're going all over the place. I got to tell you, I love Eamon. I wish the Bears had Eamon.
I love Nick Eamon mom.
Yeah.
Did you see her before? What's going on? She said, I do not know why we are so excited here. I do not know. Hey, go football. I love her so much. She wants to know what he's doing after he's done playing with his little ball. Are you going to become a doctor after you play your little ball game?
The parents of the Seahawks apparently are not into it, because I think Kenneth Walker's dad, he said he doesn't like being in like big crowds. This was the first time he ever went to a game and he saw his son win a championship. So that was awesome too. But
I ain't gonna lie to you. When you African moms is just different, bro. African parents in general, bro, it's just so different, bro. See that every time I see it, both my African homies, I sent them to the and they was like, "Ooh, it don't matter how good you're doing." It's like that's just real life. I don't know what to tell you. You can be great at what you're doing. And Nick Eamon is great. His mom is like, "When are you gonna become a doctor?"
Yes, you go back to school. Football, 7 years in football. Go back to school.
Oh,
it's
man.
hilarious.
Couple of super chats here, man. Shout out to y'all. King Booker World with the $2 super chat said, anyone named Drake, stay away from Super Bowls. Dang.
Oh, hello.
Tough.
Hello.
That's tough. Shots fired. Joseph with the $10 super chat, or 10 CHF super chat. I don't know what that is. Or how it translates, but shout out to you, Joseph. Said, would love to see them draft 2 big defensive tackles with the first 2 picks, Lee Hunter and another guy like the Cincinnati Bearcat kid, big 2 run stuffers who can give you some pass rush, but just push the QB out. That's really the goal. And here's the thing, right? I think that we're so panicked about the defense, right? I don't think that you need that many pieces. I think you need defensive line. And I'm not saying that it's going to be easy for you to find, realistically speaking, 3 defensive linemen, but I don't think it's going to be easy for you to just go in there and find the perfect guys all in one offseason. But what I do think is that Dennis Allen hasn't had that opportunity yet. Dennis Allen called Fluce's team last year.
Mm-hmm.
We're sitting here, we're like, why can't you dial up the pressure? Why can't you get to the quarterback? Why can't you do this? You need to blitz more. You need to make it. The same reason that Fluce couldn't do it, because it was a poorly constructed defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unfortunately, you spent way too much money on a guy like Dio Adangbo, and that's a bad first look. But for the most part, DA's not calling his defense yet. Let's see what it looks like after this draft. Let's see what it looks like when he gets his guys in here, his defensive linemen in here, his big, because that was my thing, right? Like, he called a defense with Austin Booker. I love Austin Booker. Y'all know I do. I also kind of expect Austin Booker to be replaced.
It's not his prototype.
Because that's not what DA wants.
Yeah.
DA wants a big body on the outside that can set an edge. Now, do I think that he could be rotated in on third down pass rush downs? 100%. Right. He could be a guy that finishes the season with 9-10 sacks.
Yeah, he got a roll. Yeah.
That don't mean that you want him on the edge, play in and play out.
Yeah,
and it definitely don't mean that for DA.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. And of course, you also have the beauty of the unknown in Shamar Turner. You know, that can return. You know, you have that piece as well. And so I'm fine with, whoever had that super chat of addressing the interior. I don't think you're that far off. In my opinion, you do need about a good 2 or 3 more pieces, a couple on the interior. You definitely need your outside edge rusher, but we're not that far away. And that's the beautiful thing, is that there are a few holes that you need to address that need to be a little bit more productive. I think that's the real thing, is the productivity needs to raise, because obviously you expected Adangbo, when healthy, to produce, and he didn't. And we'll see if that gets better this year. You expected Billings and Javon Dexter, obviously, to take another step, and he's still kind of standing in the same situation he's been in for a while. He hasn't improved, and so I don't expect it.
He's solid. I don't think you just get rid of him. Like, there's some people that's like, we can move on from him. No, you need solid pieces. You need good rotation pieces, right? Yeah. He's a piece that you want on your team that can rotate it, and that's how you beat teams by committee.
Yeah.
He's solid.
Yeah.
He ain't elite, but from the nose tackle position, 6 sacks ain't bad.
The crazy thing is he's actually improved every year. I looked at his numbers. I was like, he kind of low key has improved his numbers every year. It's just kind of like slow progress. It's like 5 to 6. It's like, can we get 5 more? Well,
you're never gonna get 10 sacks from you will, but it's from Aaron Donald. Like, for the most part, you're not getting 10 sacks from the interior. Right? Jeffrey Simmons, a little different, right? For the most part, you're not getting 10 sacks from the interior, though.
Chris Jones.
The part that hasn't improved enough for me, that I think really needs to go a different direction, is the pressure rates for Javon Dexter have not improved. The pressure rates for Javon Dexter have not gone through the roof. I could care less. You could get 0 sacks in a season. If you're forcing the quarterback out of the pocket, you're a problem.
That's true. That's true. Let somebody else get to him. Yeah.
Like that, if a quarterback can't step up in the pocket, that's game changing for you. And to me, that's the biggest thing that the Chicago Bears have to be able to do this offseason. Is address that need. You have to create pressure by rushing 4.
Yeah.
It doesn't, and I'm not saying every play. I'm not saying it doesn't have to be elite. Like, they're young guys, right? Shamar Turner's coming back. He's probably going to have a massive role with this team going into next season, hopefully fully healthy and able to get out there and play. Javon Dexter is going to be back next year. You're hoping to see, the best season from him yet, and maybe he figures it out. The guys that you draft, whatever that is, how do you improve that, right? There are all of these things where it's like, you're right on the cusp of this.
Yeah.
But what's going to push you over the edge? And I don't know if that, I'm not going to complain if Max Crosby shows up here. Max Crosby can single-handedly wreck your game plan. Max Crosby makes everybody on the defensive line better. He makes Montez Sweat better. He makes Javon Dexter better. He makes Grady Jarrett better. He makes Dayo Odangbo better, because now Dayo Odangbo can play more on the interior than on the exterior. Like, he makes them better. So I'm not going to complain about it.
Yeah.
But I also would love for you to find who your Max Crosby is in the draft. I also would love for you to go out there and find who your Trey Hendrickson, your Khalil Mack, your dominant defensive piece that's going to be here for 10 plus years is. And that's the part for me that is exciting about this. Nobody's leaving if you do the job right. Ben Johnson ain't going nowhere. Dennis Allen ain't going nowhere. You think they're not going to want their guys here for years to come?
Yeah.
Nobody's leaving. You get to get back to one of those Brian Urlacher, Lance Briggs, Peanut Tillman staple defenses.
Yeah.
That's what you got to find a way to rebuild out there.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, and that's the key, is to kind of keep everything consistent. Once you've kind of figured out what you need and kind of have that solidified going forward, then it's going to be exciting to see what the Bears' potential can be. Obviously, when they address that, we're not that far off.
Yeah, let's see what ends up happening here. I think this offseason is going to be a lot of fun. Draft breakdown begins. I believe we're doing a little mock-off season tonight, a little mock season tonight.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
On the live show. So tap in with us on that. We're going to have a lot of fun doing that tonight. Stay tuned in with us here, of course, on the Morning Breeze, as we're going to take a quick break, listening to a word from our sponsors. But we got to react to the fact that Press Taylor got promoted. Who do we want to see get passing coordinator job? And do we think that's going to affect Caleb Williams at all next season? But first, we got to listen to a word from our sponsors over at Aura.
Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https://aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Ladies and gentlemen, we got merch. That's right. New website, new merch, all out. We've been telling you guys to pull up on us. Now you can at twcbreeze.com, where you can find out all of the latest stuff going on. What all can they find there, Super Producer?
Listen, you can join the nation, sign up to our mailing list, and be up to date for events and news. You can also visit the shop page and order merch, because we have t-shirts, we got hoodies, we got mugs, we got hats, we got all kind of stuff. So, hey, we appreciate you being tuned in with us. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube page and follow us on all our socials. Check us out at twcbreeze.com.
He's way too excited.
I am.
Welcome back. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to Show and Love as always. George JC, we are over 100 at the show.
All right.
200 at the show.
Okay.
200.
Go.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as
Appreciate y'all.
always, man. Just got done talking about where the Bears need to address the needs on this team. I'm all in on defense now. Like, listen, if you find a guy that you feel like, all right, listen, like, we got the next Trent Williams over here, left tackle. All right, that's different. I'm not gonna be sitting here and complaining. Oh God, why?
Oh, yeah, you find the left tackle, yeah. That's
If you
fine.
find the next Trent Williams at left tackle, like, go all in, right? But I would love to see this team get this defense back to where we're used to seeing this defense, right? A defense that is dominant, a defense that puts fear into the heart of others. So let's get back to that with a quarterback, with a Ben Johnson, with all the answers offensively. By the way, DJ Moore said he's coming back. He said he's coming back, ladies and gentlemen, which was hilarious. It was funny because people are treating DJ Moore like he's a free agent.
Yeah, which he's not.
We know he's under contract, right? Muzz are like, the question that everybody's asking, do you want to be in Chicago? DJ's like, yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I'm here. We here.
I get paid here. I'm under contract here for the next 3 years.
That is kind of crazy that it's gotten to that level.
No, I saw that at Radio Row so much. I saw people coming up to him was like, do you want to be back here in Chicago? And he's like, yeah. I finally went to the playoffs. Yes, I do.
That is true too. Yeah, he's like, I want to win. I'm like, why would I want to leave this? Yeah, crazy.
We got DJ Moore back here. He also doubled down on the miscommunication. First time we got to hear from him this weekend. Also doubled down on the miscommunication conversation, which I don't like. Yeah, I mean,
I ain't no snitch on my team.
That's y'all been playing together too long for miscommunication. In that moment,
yeah. But that's what happened.
Nah, I'm telling you right now. I think there's a little protection. There's a little protection.
Oh, I believe it.
Because I think somebody else was like, we asked you, or some people have said you might have been concussed on that play. What are your thoughts? And he's just like, and walked away. I'm like, yeah, of course he's not gonna say nothing.
Right.
Yeah, let me admit to this fine. Although, by the way, if you were one of the people that was upset about not getting the picks for Ian Cunningham, not to say I would have blocked him because I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad person, right? I wouldn't have blocked him.
I didn't say I'm a bad person
because I treat my friends well. I would never block Jordan JC from doing better.
Dig into this.
I wouldn't call in to your upcoming job and be like, you know what? He's got this Morning Breeze thing.
Hey, that guy over there.
Yeah, he shouldn't have a job. But I will say this: the fact that Matt Ryan is just going on every show he possibly can.
Yep.
And saying,
I'm not the guy.
I've never been in a draft room. I don't know. Ian Cunningham's making those decisions. No clue. No idea what's happening. No answers on what the draft is. I am not going to be drafting anybody. Signing people. I'm signing these checks. That's all I'm signing right here. The fact that he's doing that, that's a little kick in the
in the nads.
The little patties. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's a little
slap in the face.
Yeah, that's a little slap in the face. That's an old school, like, white glove off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I challenge you to a duel. I mean, that's one of them. I'm not going to lie to you.
God.
The fact that he's like just every show, like this shows it's not even brought up on. It's like, what are your thoughts on trying to get the ball rolling, getting things figured out there quickly with the dominant team? Yeah, well, Ian Cunningham just showed up, and so I think really love what we're seeing out of Ian and just how he's. Nobody asked you about Ian. You don't gotta rub it in, bro. That's okay.
It's okay. It's like the league is like saying, yeah, no matter what, you're not getting these picks.
Yeah, we're not getting the picks. We're not getting the picks.
Okay. It's all right. Block him.
You want to do better, my friend, and it doesn't benefit me? F you.
No.
Speaking of somebody doing better, over the weekend, Press Taylor got a promotion from pass game coordinator to offensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears. They went internal with their promotion. Now, Press Taylor has done this job before, which I thought made him a really good candidate for the job because he's seen the expectation that Ben Johnson has. He's seen what to expect from the demand part of it, right? And also, he's done the job of being an OC before. Now, what does concern me is that Press Taylor has been an offensive coordinator before. He was an offensive coordinator of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was the OC for a playoff run in there, I believe, right? Wasn't he?
2023?
No, not that one.
Under Doug Peterson, 2024. Yeah.
Jacksonville playoff, not that one. I believe he was. Let me double check that. I believe he was the OC when they went to the playoffs in 20. No, he was not. Never mind. I take it back. That was in 2023 or 2022 that they went to the playoffs. The offensive coordinator of that team.
It had to be him because it was from 22 to 24 under Doug Peterson.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. I don't know why my brain flipped what year he was there, but either way, he's done the job before. He knows what to expect. I thought that he was a really good name to be a part of the offensive coordinator conversation. Good to know that the Chicago Bears are hiring from within, and now you have to fill that pass game coordinator spot with guys that I think that did come from college, right? I think a Will Lawing still could be a shoe-in for a job in something like that. But what I like about this is you're creating a staff that feels like, and that guys will want to come to, because I have an opportunity to move up. I have an opportunity to do better. I have an opportunity to learn this job. Somebody else gets a job, and then I can move into that position. I think when you have that opportunity, coaches around the league will look at that staff and say, that's a staff I want to be a part of, because I know that excuse me, their goal is to help me move forward in the coaching ranks, not to keep me where I'm at for years to come. JC, what do you think of the hire of Press Taylor as the OC?
I think it makes sense. The internal hire, you're almost trying to get your second version of Declan Doyle, where you obviously
38 years old.
Young, bright mind. A lot of people still view him as someone who has obviously an opportunity to be a quick up-and-comer, such as like your Declan Doyles. The only, obviously, maybe you would say blotch on his record would be when he was an OC before, and in Jacksonville, I believe in 2023, the offensive numbers kind of took a slide from 13th in scoring and yards the previous year all the way to 25th in scoring and 26th in yards when he took over full reign of OC. I believe he only was calling the second half of games under Doug Peterson,
which is
previous
weird.
3 years. Yeah, I don't get that, but
we need you most. You call the game.
Yeah. Come on down in here. Yeah, But
and it was better. I think that's the funny part. His half of the game was better than Doug Peterson's half of the game.
Yeah. But that's the only thing is he's had a chance to kind of take over, and it didn't go so well. Maybe it was also how the roster was constructed. Obviously, you're part of a team that has Caleb Williams, it has DJ Moore and Rome and Luther and Cole and Colston and DeAndre and Kyle and all this great offensive line. And so that obviously could be a big difference maker. But the big thing is that he's not going to be the play caller. Ben Johnson is going to now and forever, while he is here, unless something crazy happens, he's going to be the play caller. And so you're the guy that Monday through Friday, you install that game plan. You help these guys understand what it is that they need to do. So come Sunday or come whenever they play, that's when it matters the most. And so if you're that guy that can get that right, then yes, this is a perfect hire. Like, I'm not worried about him taking on that role, the kind of behind the scenes role. that's totally fine, because again, we know who's going to be the person calling the shots come game day, and that's still going to be Ben Johnson.
I think the most important thing that you didn't change, that I love the fact that this happened, and maybe it's because JT wasn't looking to do more. Maybe it's because he wasn't looking to be an OC yet, or Ben just didn't feel like he was ready for that opportunity. Opportunity as of yet.
Yeah.
Keeping JT Barrett and Caleb Williams the same is something that I love that you were able to do, because that's the person, when you look to the sideline, right? Declan Doyle wasn't sitting there next to Caleb Williams play in and play out and going, let's take a look at the tablet and see where you messed up or what you did great here and yada, yada, yada. That's JT Barrett. You want to keep as many of the relationships the same as you can. Now, you spend time with all of these coaches, right? You spend time with Declan Doyle. You spend time with Press Taylor at certain points. But remember, wasn't Thomas Brown the pass game coordinator before he got promoted to OC
Thomas
and then
Brown,
head coach?
2.5, baby.
Remember Thomas Brown going, yeah, we've talked a couple of times.
That's right.
And everybody literally being like, how have you only talked to Caleb Williams a couple of times up to this point? Well, it's not my job to speak with him. So I like the fact that you kept the guys around Caleb for the most part the same. Yes, he's going to do a little bit more work with Press Taylor, but Press Taylor, like you said, is carrying out the commands of a head coach in Ben Johnson, who, listen, it's my way or the highway, buddy. You thought Doug Peterson was demanding. Check this out. Where is Doug Peterson, by the way? What's he doing now?
I don't know.
Doug Peterson won a ring and then
pina colada. I don't know.
Was hated on for let's see, where is he at? Douglas Irving Peterson.
Oh, Julius
Peterson with a D. He's not in the league right now, huh?
He's taking some time off, huh? Just relax.
I guess so. He's getting paid a lot of money to not be in the league.
There you go.
He's getting paid a lot of money to not be in the league. I think he just got done probably getting paid from the Eagles, and he's still getting paid from Jacksonville.
Why work when you get paid to do nothing?
Yeah, maybe he'll be back in Philly soon. I think they about to fall off a cliff.
It's gonna fall apart. Yeah,
man, I think they're about to fall apart. No, but like I look at the hire of Press Taylor as the OC. I think it's one that does a good job of keeping things enough of the same to keep Caleb Williams comfortable, because that's the bottom line. There's nothing more important than your quarterback being comfortable, and you have somebody who understands the system explicitly, has learned in the system, worked with Declan Doyle a ton, so knows what works well for Caleb Williams and can continue to put that out there and is getting a better version of Caleb Williams than we saw last season.
I think that you mentioned it, the familiarity is something that should never be overlooked. I think that actually matters more than we let on when it comes to sports, when it comes to jobs, when it comes to that period. You know, when you're comfortable around certain people that are already in the building that, you know, get the promotion. And unfortunately, I've been on the back end of this one where I had a nice interview and I was the outside option, and somebody got my job and I didn't get the job. But I digress. I think that
still heard about that, are we?
Hires, what'd you say?
So still heard about that, are we?
Yeah, it kind of sucks. It was only 5 months ago, but that's okay. Internal hires, I feel like that's where you when you look around the room, you see people who know that the person already, familiar face, familiar voice, like that means something. That should never be overlooked. And so, you know, like you said, you know, you got JT still staying in his position as quarterbacks coach. You got Press Taylor getting a promotion at OC, but he's still going to be, you know, kind of be behind the scenes. It's the same format as it was with Declan Doyle. Nobody's doing anything different. Ben Johnson's still the play caller. Like that's the consistency that you want from, you know, really good organizations. That's how it looks. It looks like that. And that's why you got Eric Bieniemy going back to Kansas City. Like they want to run it back with him because that's familiarity. Like, that's what makes sense. And so I think this is a smart route, even though you had some really good outside candidates for OC. I think this is a smart route because of the comfort level and the consistency of it all.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. I'm very excited for what next season is going to bring. I think there's going to be a ton of offensive upside. Defensively, we got to improve a lot going into that as well, man. You got to improve a lot. But really just on the defensive line, can the Bears go out and find defensive linemen? It's kind of what this franchise has been elite at over the years. let me. There was something else that I was looking at. Oh, you mentioned Eric Bieniemy. No, because we kind of got to get about here. But we spent a lot of time on two topics. No, you mentioned Eric Bieniemy. Bro, did Matt Nagy land a job and I missed it?
Whoa, hold on now. Because I know he was up for a job in. Was he up for a job in Philly? And then no, not Philly. Like he had interest. I can't remember if it was Philly or.
He got the Giants job, right? Out. Did he get the Giants job?
He did go. Yes,
he got the Giants job to be the OC. Okay, all right. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that checks out.
That's hilarious, bro.
Yeah,
they ran so much PR. Yeah, you brought up Bieniemy, and it instantly made me think like, wait a minute, is Matt Nagy still out there? But he did get the Giants job.
They got him out of there before he even left the building. Yeah.
Eric was on the phone. Eric was on the phone. Final game of the season. EB, we want you to come back, baby. Come on back. Come on. Hey, we need that old thing back, EB. Come on now. We need that. Need that old thing back. I've been dealing with Nagy's bald head. Look at it here. Just Andy Reid going in on Matt Nagy. It's like, please.
It's like, whoa, Andy.
John Harbaugh and Matt Nagy.
Yeah, well, there you go. We'll see if they can turn it around with those guys. I mean, they got some talent over there. I'm not gonna lie. They got
a lot of talent.
They got some potential.
Listen, I'm glad that my quarterback isn't in the concussion tent as much as Jackson Dart is. That's all I'm gonna say. Hey, deal with that, Ringo.
Wow.
Figure that one out, huh? Take that with you. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We'll be back later today as we start our mock off season.
Nice.
Breeze mock season. First war room of the off season as we talk about some of the different avenues this Bears team can take to fix some of the issues that they have. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. For Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC. It is your boy, Pat the Designer. Back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bed down. One love. Peace.
I wonder if I'll be wearing my mock jacket this time. A nice suit jacket again like last time.
Can you fit it?
Right. You shut your mouth.
Hey, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. It ain't good over here. I stepped on the scale after last night because when you're alone, you eat a little more. I stepped on the scale last night or this morning, boy. I was like, ooh, shouldn't have done that to yourself after the bowl.
Yeah.
It
happens.
That's all right. I'll get it down. Hurt my back last week. Had to get back in the gym. Baby.
Oh yeah, you did.
Dang kids.
Meddling kids.
That's how it feels sometimes.